Right then, still on day 3, still in Switzerland, but I'm coming out of Switzerland empty now, up towards France, sort of Belgium way, to reload tomorrow. So it makes today a really steady day, and a nice late start tomorrow as well. Got to come out of Saint-Lary and back into France. Coming out of Swiss empty is 10 times easier than coming out loaded or coming in loaded. All you've got to do is your tax, which is as straightforward as you could want it to be. It's really easy. You just follow the signs here for Bâle again. In fact, follow the signs for the airport initially, and the France signs, the D signs for Germany, obviously. They take you to Wheel and Rhine border, but that's not the border I want to use anywhere. I always avoid Wheel and Rhine at all costs. I won't go Wheel and Rhine unless I absolutely have to. Like, if I'm clearing at the border and my agent's at the border there, then I'll go that way, but other than that, I avoid the place like the plague. If I have to use a German border for any reason, I would always prefer to use Rheinfelden, which is the next one along, like over near Larac. I think it's the bottom of the 98. Without having a look at the map, I think it's, you come off the A5 onto the 98, go around the 98 to the end, and brings you out of Rheinfelden. I always use that border as opposed to Wheel and Rhine. At this split here is where you decide which border you're actually going to use. To the left and the A2 is Karlsruhe, and the German border, and to the right is Mulhouse and the airport for the French border. Up by Ziegler's place. And this sign here, I don't know if you can, if that came out on camera or not, I wasn't really looking, is the first sign you get for the border. You have to exit here. Again, driving a truck and it's on the road there, it's really clearly signposted. Another one up ahead, it says Zoll, Douane, and Zoll is German for customs and Douane is French for customs. So you just follow the Zoll, Douane and the truck signs, it takes you straight into the border, no problems at all. And here we are, back at the border. That's where I exited the border yesterday. Bit of a queue, but I soon go through them, no problem. So, because I'm empty, I'll come round, go through the parking, don't need to stop, don't need to go and see anybody. I just need to drive around to the window where everybody else is queuing for there. So all I need to do is my tax, and he'll do my tax at the window. So I'll just pull up, write my mileage in, the bottom of my tax form, there's a box right at the bottom, just fill your mileage in, it's really obvious what you do. Sign it, and then when you get to the window, just give it to the fella there, he'll do his bits and pieces with it, and then he'll take a copy, give you a copy back, and that's you drive through. You drive up to the French customs. If they're looking out the window or if they're there, slow right down, just tell them you're empty if they ask. Other than that, don't stop, just sort of roll through past the black building with the French customs man in it, and that's you. You're straight back out and onto the motorway in France. Hello.
It's empty.
Yeah, it's there.
Yeah.
Alles klar. Ciao. Oh, there you go, it's in manual. Have you heard that bit of an exchange there? Leah is German for empty. So, because otherwise he would want to see your customs papers there, just to make sure you've done them. Sometimes you want a quick look in the back to make sure you're empty. Of all the times I've been through here, I've only ever had them actually ask for a look in the back to double check it's empty. I think, I don't know, 2 or 3 times at the most. I think twice actually. There's only, I think, 2 instances where I've actually been stopped and they've checked. So, right, that's the Swiss side, this is the French side. So just slow right down here, there's no barrier or anything. Slow right down here. Sometimes they look out of the window, sometimes they don't, there's not even anybody there. Just drive straight through, they don't need anything from me. Keep to the right, and this puts you back on the motorway, and that's Switzerland sorted. Big sign there, saying France. It's as easy as that, really. I'm back on the motorway in France now. Just to add about Swiss, don't try and cheat your mileage. It's really expensive to drive in Switzerland, especially if you're like a Euro 3. It's really silly money to drive in Switzerland. Don't cheat your mileage. Put the right mileage in when you're going into the country and write the proper mileage in on your tax form when you're coming out, because mileage controls are really frequent. They catch you cheating your mileage, it's going to cost you. So it's just better just to write the proper mileage in. Plus, if the mileage doesn't look right, they will, if they think you haven't written enough mileage down for where you've been, they'll get all your CMRs off you. They'll go and put it in the route planner and see how many miles it should be and how many miles you've actually told them, like declared. Also, if you're coming from Chiasso to St. Louis or Wheel and Ryan, they know how long it is. I think Chiasso to St. Louis, I'm sure it's 283 k's. Somebody will probably correct me on that, but it's about that. It's somewhere in that area. So a couple of k's either side makes no difference. If you've come up from Chiasso, you're saying you've only done 200 kilometres in Switzerland, they're going to know instantly. They're going to know. that you've not done enough miles, and I'm going to want to know why. So yeah, don't cheat your mileage, you will get caught. Day 4, I'm in Belgium on some industrial estate in Belgium. There you go, a nondescript industrial estate in Belgium. It's quite warm as well, considering it's cloudy. It's 11:30. I've got a collection just up the road. I'm going to start about 1 o'clock to go and do that. Then I've got another collection about 45 k's away from here, which won't be ready till later on this afternoon, so hence I'm starting so late. And then hopefully try and get back into the UK tonight. So there's big delays at Calais at the minute. There's massive queues at Calais and at the train and at Dunkirk because there's been industrial action, but hopefully by the time I get up there they should have cleared it all because the industrial action is finished now, so it's just a case of them shifting the queues. So we'll see how we get on with that. Right, that's my first collection done, which I'm awaiting my second collection, and I'm filming this little bit because this is a border I've never used before. I've just gone through, it's just a drive-through border, but it's between Belgium and Luxembourg. But I just like going in different ways and doing stuff I've never done before, so I thought I'd get it on video. This is now Luxembourg. I'm gonna go and get some diesel at Esch, because Esch LZ is the only AS24 site in Luxembourg that does red diesel. Red diesel's really hard to come by in Europe, other than in France where you can get it pretty much every AS24 site. There's a few that don't, but most do red, but other than that, red for your fridge, those sites are few and far between, but they do it at Esch, so I'm going to fill up with diesel and fill up with cherry. All loaded now. Back for the UK, I'm just coming out of Luxembourg back into Belgium. To the border at Sturpenich. So I'm going to go straight up with 411 as well tonight because I've got diesel at Esch earlier on, so I don't need to go into Martelange for anything. Probably going to go up to Calais as well to get a boat out of Calais. I'm hoping the queues have gone, but see how that goes later on. And I'm also going to go around Brussels as opposed to going Lille, because when I came out Lille way earlier on in the week, there were roadworks on the Mons motorway and it was down to one lane on the other side, so I ain't going to take a chance going through there and getting stuck behind somebody at 40 k's. So I'm going to go around Brussels way. Right, the lights you can see before you are the lights at the port of Calais. It's midnight and the place is absolutely dead, which is good. As the boat goes in about an hour and a half, P&O, which is the next one available. So, and that's the one I'm going to go and catch, hopefully. And this is it, onto the boat, back to England. all pretty straightforward stuff really.